microclimate. So I went in different locations, and so I found an area that just doesn't have high winds. If you do have high winds in a backyard area, you might have to grow a little small hedge. Not too tall that it's going to, bring too much sun down. So usually what you do is you want a 45-degree angle. And your hedge is this high, you're going to a 45-degree angle, so that means your garden is going to have to go down right here. If you put your garden this close to the hedge, it's going to block it. So if you go to that 45, I wish I had a picture of that, coming down, you put your garden here. So you want to create a microclimate of some kind. In permaculture, which I'm not talking about today, but that's where you use towering trees to shade like a tall fruit tree, and then you get a dwarf fruit tree underneath it, and then you have vegetables underneath it. They may be nitrogen fixing trees. Their leaves fall down and go right into that substrate. Everything we're talking about with microbes and everything just does its work. All the mycelium, all the spores. Or in 3 years, you could have a garden in your front yard if you can get away with it. You don't have to water it that much. Once it's established, permaculture gardens can grow in the desert because it requires about 1.5 feet of substrate. We're using some of the permaculture principles today in our training today. Some permaculture with making sure that you have a protected area. So this microclimate area back here, we can grow certain crops all year long. Our oregano goes all year long. Certain crops very early in the spring because it's warm. We just don't have cold winds. Completely shut off from the northern winds. We have a green barn in front of it from the north. And so that doesn't get those really bad freezes back there. But for you, now what you want to do is you want to make sure you're in an area that drains well. Our micro garden out back, some people will just put it in a flat area, and when you get heavy rains, it's just going to wash all the nutrients out of your garden. That's another reason why we like the landscaping timber around the cinder block. With the wooden grow beds, you don't have to worry about that, because too much rain will just wash the nutrients right out. And so ours, in back, in the 1/10 acre, is just sloped like this, and then it goes into a dirt pond. We made a dirt pond. We have a creek over there, so everything would go into the dirt pond instead of the creek. Believe it or not, we put a sump pump in the bottom of that dirt pond, and we can dredge from the bottom of that pond, which has tilapia and fish waste in it, some of the greatest fish muck that money can buy.